Hello all newcomers, fellow Aeternians. If you're new to the stream, or to the channel rather, I'm AP, and today we are going to be talking about electronics basics. For along the Empire, we've been working on different if you are curious about electronics or about electrical work and you want to get into it, I'm going to show you all the different parts and all the different to get started. Also, thank you so much for watching our very first viewer. Make sure to thumbs up the video and let us know what's going on with you. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to jump into it. The first pretty important piece that we want to look at in most circuits are resistors. Resistors being these cool guys right here. Resistors essentially just limit electrical current. So when you are hooking up a system, if you want a certain amount of energy to be going into it, if you could damage it. So what we use these resistors for is to limit that current and that amount of energy that we're sending in so that we can still plug it up to, say, something like an electrical outlet or to a big battery without worrying about our sensitive electronic pieces being broken or damaged. And so that's the same kind of thing that your phone charger does. If you notice, you plug your phone charger into the wall has about 120 volts at I believe 1 or 2 amps, something like that coming out of it, maybe more. But your wall charger has that breaks that down smaller current value and a smaller voltage value, giving you out probably about 5 volts. So that's what these resistors are. They're super important, they are super cool, and they work magic for any type of electrical work that you're doing. So continuing on, another really cool thing that we get into is capacitors. As of right now, I have quite a lot of capacitors actually. Capacitors are these really exciting things in electronics because they're what makes you spike up your voltage. They're the things that can make you go from 0 to 100 really quick. And they can be anything like this. This is a high voltage capacitor that I got out of a microwave oven, and I actually have 2 of these. So these are things that will boost your voltage up really, really high and give you a lot of energy out of it from your current. Has a 300 farad, which is the capacitance unit for equivalency in current. So these, which is really, really cool, is that they sit there and they charge up this current. They charge up this electrical energy inside because they can store it in, I believe this one is 2 plates with air in between. Some of them have a fluid in them, but essentially they just trap this current in its medium, whatever that medium may be, and then all of a sudden shoot it all out at once. Depending on how your circuit, a lot of people build things like railguns, which are those electromagnetic launchers. They're really crazy and really exciting. They build up a whole bunch of capacitors, and then they make them release all at once, and that builds up a huge magnetic force that shoots out of the gun really, really fast and moves your projectile along a track. So capacitors can be crazy and can make anything that you do really, really powerful. So these are fun, but these are also very dangerous to use. So definitely be careful with you'll see in smaller circuits and things like that will look something like this. They're a lot smaller. They're electrolytic capacitors, and they're just designed to give you that little buildup, whatever you need. For a lot of things, there's something called rectification, which goes into the same thing about trying to use a wall outlet. Essentially what that is, your wall outlet is AC, but you want to get something like a phone charger to go to direct current. So which will there, but that makes your circuit. We're going to continue through our parts list. This is another really cool thing. These are Are transformers. Transformers are really exciting because they come in medium sizes like this. They come in little tiny baby sizes like this little cute capacitor. And then they come in gigantic sizes. This one that comes out of your microwave oven, this is a very big transformer. Is they have all these different turns of wire in them. As you can see with something kind of like this, or really more like this when I put it up close. They have all these different turns of wire in them, and what they do is they send a signal through, they send a current through that wire. That wire, the nature of electricity, gives off a magnetic field as the current passes through it. And when that happens, you can end up storing charge in here through that wire being wound in a sort of circle or in a consistent pattern like that, right next to each other in either a circle or a square form. And what that'll do is that will help to, one, smooth out your current, but also will help to reduce your current in whatever a circuit you have. So they can be similar and assist with things like resistance. They're not a substitute for resistors in any way, but you can definitely work how they sort of. Transformers are definitely a big thing for them. One thing as well, they can step up or step down voltage. So that's a really crazy thing, is that these things can either make your circuit a lot more powerful or a lot more weak, depending on what you need your circuit to do. So transformers are really crazy. One thing a lot of people don't know about transformers, which is really cool, is they have several different turns of wire that will essentially create a, take your electrical energy, convert it into magnetic, and then we'll send it back through as electrical. Now that still has magnetic energy in it, but this main component of trying to create a strong magnetic field around a certain location is what these are for. However, most have two different turns of wire in them, but like with these that I'll show you here, sorry guys, having a little bit more connection issue, but if you take this transformer and you were to hack ready, but you take a hacksaw, you take a welding tool, something like that, a torch, and you just cut that, what you can do is pry off this top piece, and you can remove this small wire. Essentially, this is a thicker gauge wire, it's just a thicker wire. This one's a thinner one, but this is what essentially takes in your current first, helps to make that magnetic field, then it sends it into here, which drops it down to a lower current because this can't take as much energy into it, and then sends it back into your circuit. So that would be like a step down. But if you remove this altogether, if you remove this wire altogether, and you keep this piece off, what you can do is you can generate this magnetic field and have it run back into your circuit and just make a really strong electromagnet. Pretty crazy, because that's just the nature of how you can create an electromagnet that can hold over 100 pounds potentially, depending on how much current you send through it, but it can hold a lot of weight. So something like that can get pretty crazy. That's the use. Hooked up together in a comp you right back.